I just read the headlines, make all my opinions, and then move on.
Welcome to GCP Bytes, episode number 42 for Friday, the 5th of June, 2026. GCP Bytes is a podcast where we discuss Google Cloud and tech, and I'm your host, Stephen Bancroft. On today's show, is Mythos going to be available in Australia? Google and Telstra make a deal? Google gets a massive fine? Plus, is the token honeymoon over? Find out more in the AI wars. But before we get to any of that, I'd like to introduce the co-host of the show, Dave Wall. How are you going, Dave?
I don't know about these GCP Bytes mornings. I want to go back to GCP Bytes nights.
Cold.
It's cold and wet.
And our very own GDE, Ian Brown. How are you, Ian?
Coffee. Need more coffee.
Yeah, I just finished my cup, actually. I don't have to wait now an hour and a half before I have another one. How's the fortnight been for you two?
Flat stick. Just
Yeah, it's been crazy.
Just blinked and missed it.
Yeah, it comes around quick, doesn't it? Before we know it, we're recording another ep, and here we are, early mornings recording again.
But it's always a milestone now that we're around to episode 42. When you get to 42 of anything, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
I thought it was 6-7 now is the milestone.
No, it's not.
I love whenever there's new like kid memes, because having young kids, like, you get to use it all incorrectly and it makes it immediately uncool.
Oh, and they hate
the amount of skibbity rismus that I've been saying around the house.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear. Skibbity, yeah. Well, I've got a little bit of news. I have a working Commodore 64. Did I mention this last episode? Or
You got it booting, and you retro-brighted it.
yeah, okay. So I got the couple of new chips, and they've gone in, and she boots up, and the keyboard works, and everything is great. Except.
All right.
So I've got these. You put a floppy drive onto it, and you go to load a file, and
3.5 or 5.25.
5.25.
All right.
Yeah, legit, right? And you can get a 3.5-inch for the Commodore 64, but they're rare as hen's teeth and extremely expensive. Yep. It starts to load. The drive knocks, because that's how it does this knocking thing, and then just doesn't load the file. It says file not found. Excuse me. I've got two drives, and they both do the same thing. I put a data set to load something off tape. You go load, you press play, it pretends to load, it never finds the file, and it plays through the entire tape and it never finds it. Normally it flashes up and says file found and loading, and then it continues to load, but it never loads it. So clearly there's a problem loading and finding files. Now, this 60 clone motherboard that I've got, it came with the components all installed, and it's perfectly done. All the components, all the original OEM components that I put on there, all seem to work and all seem fine. It's beyond me at the moment. I've been round and around with Gemini and the Crow, trying to look at all the signals on there. There is a common signal between the drive and the tape drive, between the floppy drive and the tape drive. So I'm suspecting something there, but it's a mystery at the moment.
Because it's just serial at that point, isn't it? When it hits that connector, it's just serial.
That's right. There's a serial line in thing on the tape RD, and that actually goes to the other CIA.
Yep.
And that's the common element. Now, I put a post on Lemon64 asking, spelling all this out and asking for some help. I've had 40 people look at it, but no one seems to know the answer. I now to do this, I've ordered a $80. I could have bought a 64 at this point. A test harness. So I've got the cartridge that runs the it can run a basic test, using the CPU, but you can get a test harness that plugs into all the ports, and then it runs tests on those ports. Right.
That's just using the dead test cartridge, or is it a different one?
Using the dead test cartridge, but there's two ways to use the dead test cartridge. You can just put the dead test cartridge in and it just runs the tests itself, right? But if you plug the test harness into all the ports, it runs an extended set of tests.
Yep.
And one of those tests is on the IEC port where the hard drive plugs, or the floppy drive plugs into, right? And on the tape port. So I'm hoping that detects some sort of problem there, and then I can swap a chip out or whatever. But all my testing at the moment, I'm getting signals that I should see, really, and there's no explanation why it's doing it.
So the race is on between getting the C64 up and running, loading a program, and you driving your car 1 kilometre.
What's it going to be?
What's it going to be?
So update. I don't know if I gave an update on the car last week. Did I give an update on the car?
No.
No,
it only happened last week.
Yeah, so I did go to see it. It is alive.
So it exists.
And did I send you guys the pictures? I should have. Did I?
You sent us a video of them, like
knocking.
That's right. Yeah, it's knocking.
Something fierce.
It's like someone's trapped in the engine block knocking. Yeah, but that's because there's just too much diesel going in. It needs to be tuned at the moment, right? They put the big injectors on. So yeah, proof of life. It does exist. It would have been it was booked in to go and have the clutch looked at on the 2nd. Might take a couple of days to do that, and then it should be going to Singleton to get tuned.
Nice.
So we'll next week. We should have a really solid update on it.
Happy with that.
So once you get it back and it's all the running gear is good to go, what is there any cosmetic? You gotta get a sick paint job on it.
Yeah, gotta get
some decals.
Well, it's still
some flames up the bonnet.
It's still filthy. Like from the trip to the Cape, it is still filthy, right? And you look at it and go, "Oh my god, what is this?"
You are never getting that red dirt out. That it will never come out.
So you're gonna have
especially not since it's been there for 3 years now.
Yeah. I can't remember what the term is, where the guys like they'll restore cars, but they keep them all like super rusty and with that patina.
The patina. They leave the patina on it.
Yeah, that's going to be yours. Another 30 years from now.
Now,
Mad Max looking thing.
While this has all been happening, I've been screwing around with something else because you got to have multiple half-baked projects going at the same time. You can't finish one and then move on to the next one.
I've got at least 4.
That's the way to do it, right? I started vibe coding my own operating system. Like, this is just completely wild, right? Bare metal operating system, right? Now,
what's it coded in? Rust?
No, not Rust. It's done in C, and there's.
He's gone old school.
I barely looked at a line of code. Like barely looked at a line of code. Now it's inspired by the original Amigas, Amiga OS 3.1. It's currently called UAOS, Ultimate Amiga OS. I'll put a link to the GitHub repo, of course, and it runs on bare metal, and I've got it to the point now where we've got a shell. I've got basic Amiga DOS commands. It emulates the Amiga libraries. So you've got exec DOS, intuition. It emulates those libraries. I've even got what's called the IXMule library, which gives it a POSIX interface, so you can run Unix commands as well. And I've integrated an M68K emulator, and it does it transparently. So I can run the native binaries in UAOS, or I can take an Amiga M68K binary, put it on the file system, run it in the shell, and it will execute it transparently, and you don't know that it's a M68K binary.
Nice.
You built like a Rosetta thing.
It's like a Rosetta thing that's built into it, right? So my goal is to be able to take there's a handful of Amiga programs that are sort of abandonware or you don't have the source code for, and you can drop it in there and you can just click it and run it, and you don't know if it's native or not. That's the goal. And right now, it's with the command line stuff, it seems to be working.
Nice.
So what's it running on? Does it have to run on Amiga hardware, or can you run on x86?
x86. And you can boot. I'm just running it in Quem at the moment, just booting it up in Quem to test it.
Yep.
But the goal will be that you have an ISO, you burn that to a USB drive, and you boot off that.
Oh, you just live boot. Yeah.
Just live boot and do an installer, and it copies it all across, and bang, you've got your operating system. Yeah.
Do you know what how much memory consumption it's doing at the moment? Like, would it fit on an Amiga in its current incarnation?
Well, it's not designed to run on an Amiga because
I know.
Yeah. So at the moment, I've just given it 512 meg of RAM. But that's all you need, right? But my goal is obviously Amiga has chip memory and fast memory, so I've got to emulate all that as well. So it's like
your
2 meg of chip memory and you're like maybe 8 meg of fast memory. You know, that's kind of all you need. We're talking about the late 80s, early 90s here. So yeah.
Were you are you planning on supporting like external storage? Like, you put a USB driver in there.
I'm gonna add all that in.
Yeah.
Right now I've got
internet.
Yeah, right now I've got virtual I/O stuff. So we've got the virtual I/O driver, and it's got an IDE TAPI interface. So that the OS sees the IDE TAPI interface, and then that becomes available as a virtual I/O driver as a disk. I will be putting the virtual I/O network driver. That's done by a BSD socket library inside the Amiga. And then because I've got like POSIX and all the modern architecture, I'll be able to have a modern browser on there.
Oh,
right?
Gotcha.
That's always the problem on Amiga, trying to have a modern browser that supports new TLS and new SSL and all that. It's 32-bit and it just breaks.
Sure.
Doesn't support it.
At bare minimum, you'll be able to get curl going.
You'll be able to get curl and links going, right?
So how much memory did an Amiga actually have? I can't remember.
Well, my original Amiga was quite souped up. It was an Amiga 4000, and I had 2 meg of chip, which was the most architecturally that you can have, and I had 64 meg of fast RAM. This was in 1993.
So, on a
the ladies would have been all up on you.
Oh mate, it was a beast. It was a beast
because it was just using the 64K processor, wasn't it? That's
well, it has an MMU, right? So if you're using 68,000 is just it's a 32-bit chip, right? It's a 16-bit chip, but it can do 32-bit bus addressing. If you're using a 68020, then you get access to an MMU and you can do memory mapping and all the rest of it, right?
Right.
So you can have.
So that's how it.
Then you get. Yeah. Then you get a full 32-bit bus, right?
Yeah. Right. Because I was just remembering back from my days of programming 64Ks or 68Ks, sorry, and I thought they only had like a max of like 16 meg of memory or something. Yeah, it was something small like that.
Yeah, it's small, but that's all you needed.
Yeah,
right? The Amiga 500, the like original one that came out, that had the original 68,000, and it came with like half a meg of chip RAM. So the thing with chip RAM is that the onboard chipset also has direct DMA access to that memory space. It shares it with the CPU, so it's slower, right? Because it's got to alternate and share with the CPU. Right, but then you have another memory paradigm called fast RAM, and only the CPU has direct access to that.
Right. Okay.
And that would be like an extended lot of RAM. Right.
Yeah,
so if you got a new Amiga out of the box in like 1984, it would just have half a mega chip RAM, and that was enough to get running. Right.
Nice. Yeah. No, it's been a long time since I played with a 68K.
Yeah.
A long time.
Yeah, so my idea with this is to have sort of the best of both worlds. But anyway, it's a fun little project. Oh my God, so much fun. I can just go, I don't like how that is. I want to change this, and off it goes. I watch the agent run, and we'll get on to Windsurf and Devon later, but that's what I've been using to do it, and it just does it. It's bloody brilliant.
Nice.
Good fun, mate. Good
fun,
yeah.
What else? What have you been up to, Dave? I've heard you changing your garage around.
Oh yeah, okay. So before we moved to the factory, like we were running our whole business out of like the garage and my little home office, right? It was a little space, and we did that for many years. Since we shifted out to the factory space, it's kind of been sitting empty, and I'm not one to put the cars in the garage. Like it's a dual car garage, but if you actually stuck 2 cars in there, it's like real tight. And like, because we've been working in there for so long, it's got air conditioning. I've got like insulation and stuff in there. Like it's not a bad little room. And I've been it's been weird not being in there every day. It started to get just full of garbage, and it's like, nah, let's do something with the space. And like, all right, it's ideal to turn it into a rumpus room.
Yeah.
All right. Just perfect. And like my kids are starting to get older. I was like, wow, this might be a place that if they've got people over, they might be able to be contained in the garage and not have to be through the house all the time. Right? I'm sure I'm getting prepared for the teenage years. Teenage / early adult. Because I remember what I was like.
I remember what I was like too, and I'm far more strict on my son than what I was, what my father was on me, because I know what I got up to.
So what I've been doing is we're trying to make it like a chill spot. So I do want to get speakers and TV and everything in there, but I'm really trying to only use like old kit. So I've been like sort of scrounging around. I found an old 7.2 channel amp that I had from like my old house. It's I don't know, 9 years old. I went around to my dad's place, and he had a bunch of his old stereo speakers that were out in the garage. I was like, okay, cool. I'll drag them over. Like he didn't want them anymore, so I'm like, cool. I can set all those up. A couple of the speakers a little bit rotten. I thought before I actually went and ran all the cabling in for them, because then I have to get up in the roof lifting tiles and all that jazz. Yeah. My arms are actually all. Whenever you push back concrete tiles and get them down, like there's no way you do that without getting your arms all scratched up. So plenty of those. But yeah, before I did all that, I was like, okay, well I'll kind of set it up in the room with some cable and just test all the speakers out. Going one by one, checking. All right, here these 3, the fronts and the center channel are okay, and the 2 I want to use for the rears. The woofers were just completely rotted.
Yeah.
There's nothing to them. The foam surrounds on them. If you touched it, they all just crumbled away to nothing. So no, I had a bit of fun with trying to repair them. I did actually buy like a re-edging kit to try and fix the woofers. I didn't do a good job of it. They didn't. They started to make some sound, but like you had to poke the cone in like the right spot to make it. It's like I didn't have the seal properly. Yeah. In the end, like down to J-Car, bought a couple of replacement woofers.
Yeah.
These were not high-end speakers, right? Like I probably spent more on the replacement woofers than the speakers were worth, but it's kind of a bit of fun.
So when's the pinball machine going in?
Well, okay, so like I would like an arcade cabinet, but I've got like my Batocera machine, which does all like the arcade emulation. So I think in terms of how I'm going to end up going is I've got a space for a TV down there already because I kind of want to clean the room up once. So while I don't have a TV for it yet, I've put the TV mount on the wall because I'm drilling into the bricks in the garage, right? And that brick dust just gets over everything. Oh, yes. So I was like, okay, well, I'll put that in there now and then I can worry about it later. So yeah, the goal is going to be I've got the TV. I had to get one of those fiber optic HDMI cables because to get from where the TV is to my network cabinet where the amp lives is about 7 meters worth of run. Ooh. And above 5 meters, HDMI cables get flaky.
Yep.
So yeah, and obviously, cable chick and got an active optical fiber HDMI lead. So nice. Tested that running across the room on the floor just to make sure it's all working fine. Yeah. Got all that going. Had to update the software of my amp, which kind of forgot that was a thing, but so it's getting there.
And
right?
are they going to use this space? This is the question.
Well, I'm going to use this space.
Right.
Right. So it doesn't matter really if the kids are if it turns out the kids are running rampant in the house, me and my wife will just hang out in there. Like we're trying to turning it into a bit of a hobby room. It's not just about like the stereos and stuff. It's like I've started to get back into Warhammer.
Yeah. You got to come and see my Lego room.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, it's a bit of like I've been enjoying sort of getting in there and just like painting little men.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's got a nice little alternative to doom scrolling and having a project, like a physical project to get my hands back on again has been nice.
Yeah.
So it's getting there. We're going to do a bit of decor. I've got just so much like random nerd crap over there. I've got some chainmail and things like that I bought 15, 20 years ago when Think Geek was still a thing.
Yeah.
Wow. God, that brought back memories, doesn't it?
Yeah, so we're gonna put all that up in there. Like I've got a sword, and I'm like I could probably mount that. I just have to mount it securely because I know my kids would want to take it off the wall, so that needs to be like fixed in place.
Sword fights.
Yeah. So I do have a dartboard, but we've made the executive decision to not put that up because I remember having access to a dartboard when I was like 16 and throwing it through like garage doors.
Yeah, nice.
So we've decided to just not do that.
Oh, it sounds like fun. Yeah.
I've got myself a pool table and a dartboard.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
And the pool table is staying in situ at the moment. It's not coming here yet.
Yep.
We bought a dartboard the other day for a mate's birthday that we're having at the Rifle Club on Sunday evening, and I was like, well, I'm going to buy this out of our pocket because I want a dartboard for downstairs. So when we turn downstairs back into a rumpus room, which is what it should be, that's where the TV is going to go. The big lounge is going to go. The pool table will be in there. Like it won't be another kitchen and really cramped little space.
You actually have a bit of space to spread out in your house.
Yeah.
He's going to set a bar in there. He's going to have kombucha on tap.
But we actually realised last night we were sitting in the house and it was the first time that we'd been in our house as just the three of us, so my wife, myself and my son, in forever.
Yeah, right.
Like since we bought
since
the
you
house,
moved there.
it's the first time we've ever been in the house as just our family.
Jeez.
In 10 years. So, but yeah, look, we're just cleaning up. It's a huge process to clean up after someone dies, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But there's plans.
Big plans. I can't wait to hear them. Yep.
Oh, yeah. And then I found this morning, I was just, scrolling through the emails this morning, and Mythos is coming to Australia.
Yes, I just opened this article that you put in here. What's the lowdown on this?
So Anthropic's Project Glasswing, which obviously is the project that they're inviting people to, is now being opened to specific industries in Australia. So power, water, healthcare, comms, financial services and national security stuff. And they've also said that any organisation that is participating can now communicate that. So where we've gone, we know that Mozilla has access to Project Glasswing, and we know that Google has access, and a few others. Companies in Australia or organisations in Australia that are now invited into Project Glasswing are now able to say, hey, yeah, we also are. So there you go.
Right.
What an amazing marketing program have they built around Mythos, though, and this whole limited access. The fact that we talk about who's got access to this model now, like even the fact that these are articles. There is an
article later on. We'll get into this a little bit more, but you're absolutely right. Is it a marketing stunt, or is it really so dangerous?
I mean, things can be two things, right? They can be like, this is dangerous, and the marketing team can be like, oh, all right, well, we can't sell it publicly, I think we got something we can do.
Let's do this. Yeah. All right. Well, that's all good banter, guys. Good to hear everyone's little projects coming along. Let's get on with the community news. All right, Ian, take it away. We've got a couple of goodies coming up.
Yep. Look, Cloud Summit is edging ever so closer. 25th of June in Sydney. It's an all-day event. Get yourself registered and come along and say g'day. I'll be there. There'll be a whole heap of people from Google there, obviously. There'll be a whole heap of GDEs there. I know JK will be there. There's a few others that I know that'll be there. We're all helping out in the builder zones. So get yourself registered and get along to that.
Yep. Bring your laptop if you're going to the builder zone.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Have to bring your laptop if you're going to builder zone. It is very, very pointless going to builder zone without a laptop. But in the GDG space, we got a heap of events on. I think there's 5 all up. So Brisbane's monthly meetup is happening on the 22nd of June from 5:30 p.m. at the Precinct in Brunswick Street in the Valley. Once again, it's going to be a cracking little night. They've already got 30 people registered for that. Sydney are having their June meetup. That's happening on the 10th of June at 5:30 at Metal Group in Sydney. That's in George Street. They always put on a really good, really good event. So
a bit of a spread as well.
Yeah, a bit of a spread. Yep. They've already got 95 registered for that. So head along there. Again in Sydney, this one's at the Google Sydney office on the 17th of June at 5:30. You can go to the Building the Future with RAG using Gemma 4 and Anti-Gravity 2.0, supported by MongoDB.
Wow, that's all the things.
Yeah, that is literally... Could you put any more keywords into that title? You may as well just put the narrative in there. No, that'll be a great event.
Be cracker,
you'll learn heaps of really cool stuff. Again, you will need a laptop for this. All right, down to Melbourne. Sunny Melbourne, or maybe not so sunny today. 6th of June, so that'll be Saturday. From 9:30 a.m. is Google DeepMind AI Sprint Hackathon. Righto, so this is an online event from what I can tell. There's teams, so there's a maximum of 4 people per team. You get a day to build something really cool using Gemini and Anti-Gravity and all the Google goodness, and there are prizes.
How about an operating system? I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah, I don't know that you can build that in a day.
So you're pretty good at it now.
You've got to start from scratch.
I have got a prompt that goes for days. You should see it.
Yeah, that's a problem. You've got to be finished in a day. All right, so first place is $2,000. Second place is $1,000, and third to fifth place is $500 each. Yeah. So get along to that one and see how you go. You might be lucky. And then last but not least is Melbourne's Build with AI event in July. Now, I know July's a little way away, but we'll get them a little bit of coverage. 8th of July at 6 p.m. at the Metal Group office in Flinders Street. There's already 37 people registered for that, so get in quick or you're going to be left behind. And again, it'll be a big Build with AI event.
Fantastic. All right, they all sound like awesome events. Try to get yourself along to a couple of those. I'm definitely going to try and get down to Sydney for that Cloud Summit. Sounds great. All right, well, with the community news done, let's get on with the news items. And our favourites, Broadcom, first one out of the gate. We've got an article here, how to migrate VE1 hardware, because VE1 hardware has become end of life. It is.
So just in the last month, let me just find the date. So just in the last couple of weeks, we've now had Google release a VE1 hardware end-of-life migration guide. for moving off your VE1 nodes for VMware Engine and across to VE2 nodes. So we've sort of, we've been kind of reporting on this and monitoring as though allowing you to have like mixed node environments and then move the management plane. Now you've got an actual documented approach for what you can do, because they're trying to get rid of these VE1 nodes. They're end of life. They want them out.
Yep. And I've already had a customer contact me to do exactly that.
Yeah.
So it's happening.
Yeah.
Google are actively sending out messages to customers that are using VE1 saying you need to migrate to VE2 or get off VMware altogether, which really is the idea of VMware Engine. Get into the cloud and then get off VMware.
Get out of there. Yeah.
Yep.
Not paying those exorbitant fees.
It's definitely the case in that, and we've certainly seen it just that for most customers, they'll have grand plans of being out, but there's still something, right? They're very unlikely to be able to completely extricate themselves in that first sort of CUD anniversary.
Yep.
So just reading this, when Google Cloud schedules your hardware for retirement, you receive a target end-of-life notification. So are Google coming up to each of their VE1 users and just saying, this hardware will be retired on this date? You must get off it.
Literally, yeah. So a customer that contacted me, I had a phone call yesterday, said that they've got until October.
Right. So the migration process should more or less be a simple point-and-click exercise.
Roughly enough, yeah. Add a new cluster to the existing, like your primary cluster. So you add the VE2 cluster in, migrate all your VMs over to the VE2 cluster, and you can email. So you put a support ticket into Google, they will stand up the new cluster for you. You can then migrate over, and then you email them, and they retire that primary cluster and move all the management over to the secondary.
Yeah. And it's definitely much easier if you do that. Obviously, you can build new PCs. You can do that, and you could shift everything across, but that's a lot of work when you have to rebuild all the NSX constructs. Your logging and everything else. Whereas if you just spin up a new cluster and you move all the smarts across to it, off you go. And the only real big thing you have to make a decision on is the VE2 nodes are obviously a lot bigger.
Yeah.
So it's really what shape of nodes you want to fit around VE1s.
And what if you were doing this via Terraform? What would be the process?
You couldn't do this. Not yet. You could build new PCs via Terraform, but you couldn't do your migration that way.
Right. No. Well, I mean, you could. But let's say you had your private cloud built with Terraform, you'd have to. You just couldn't do it, right?
You'd have to import.
You have to
state.
Import? Yeah, you have to import state. Yeah, and a lot of pipelines might not let you do that. Interesting.
Yeah, there's lots of caveats there. Look, and the GCVE Stretch PC module that Google puts out has some bugs in it too. So very likely that it won't work, even if you did try it. I came across one the other day when I tried to expand a Stretch private cloud from 12 nodes to 24 nodes, and it exploded.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. So.
All right. So, if you're on a legacy VMware environment, you're going to have to upgrade. We know a few people that are. So, and they're already coming knocking. So, that's interesting.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's get on with some industry news. First cab off the rank here, NBN Co. Ask ACMA for Spectrum license discount. NBN Co. has appealed to the Australian Communications and Media Authority to give it a discount on expiring Spectrum licenses for its fixed wireless services. No one's using them. We should be able to get them cheaper. That's basically how it works, right?
Apparently, there's about 800,000 premises connected via fixed wireless, and I know our Rifle Club is one of them. So it is actively being used, but apparently it is a loss centre for NBN Co. So it costs them far more to license that spectrum than it does make money for it.
Right, but they've got a moral service obligation, right? They have to provide it. Yeah.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
But they're saying, so the ACMA's come back with their number of, we want $7.32 billion for the 2.3 gig and 3.6 gig bands that you're using, which is ever so slightly lower.
And NBN Co's going, hang on a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. So they've come in here and said that their appeal substantially relied on arguments that it operates its fixed wireless network at a loss for public benefit, and that spectrum has no use that would deliver more valuable return to consumers.
Right.
So except for other telcos using that band for, their stuff.
For your private mobile services.
Yeah.
So they're coming at it from a USO.
That's right.
So the universal service obligation.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've also said here, however, the proposal to apply benchmark-derived market pricing does not adequately reflect NBN Co's loss-making and mandated use case, and results in a price for our expiring licenses that is not a fair price. So basically, they're saying that we never make money on this, and it's unfair to charge us $7.32 billion for the spectrum that we're quite legally using.
Yep. That would have no other use, no use otherwise. That's the way I read that.
Well, yeah, but this is the thing. So if they don't buy that spectrum, some other carrier will. So the Telstras or the Optus or the Vodafones or whoever is out there that wants that extra spectrum will buy it. And then just start using it for their own backhaul or whatever else they need.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, I mean they're not super attractive bands though, right? So I mean 2.3 gigahertz and 3.6 gigahertz, they don't penetrate particularly well. Versus, I mean, like one of the big things that Telstra had early on versus Vodafone when that network was first being built out was that Telstra operated in much lower frequency bands, right? The penetration into buildings was significantly better, right? So even
the
if
old
you had
850
coverage,
and 900 meg,
yeah. So like 2.3 and as I said, 3.6 specifically aren't very attractive. Like for backhaul where you've got point-to-point line of sight, sure.
But the 5G bands are up in that range anyway. They're huge. I'm just looking them up now because I haven't looked them up for yonks. But yeah, 5G bands are up in the 2.1, 2.2.
Okay.
And then there's 2.3 gig as well. Is a 5G band. They go up to 3.5 and 5.8 to 5.9.
Right.
So
okay.
yeah.
So obviously there is still
some value there. Yeah. Physics, can't deny it. All right, well, watch this space on that one. And, NBN's trying to do the right thing, right? I mean, if they can reduce their costs, then it's going to reduce their wholesale costs to everyone and everything.
Yeah, that's cheaper. Right.
Yeah. cPanel. Lightspeed cPanel plugin 0-day exploited for server root access. Now, if you don't know what cPanel is, it's that thing you get when you go to a web service provider and you can manage like a GUI management tool to manage your server, right?
You log into the worst UI known to mankind.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible.
WordPress
VM, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yep. So this advisory is so bad that it's part of a broader May 2026 vulnerability streak that spans 22 days and includes 8 advisory events across the cPanel system. And they've basically forced the update or the removal of the module. So cPanel are adamant that you will either upgrade your cPanel environment or you won't have access to Lightspeed.
Right.
So and it's a 10 CVSS.
Yeah, it's huge.
So, am I correct in remembering that Lightspeed is like the little web server that's included with cPanel? Is that?
Yeah. Well, it's an add-on module. So cPanel by default uses Apache, and puts config files in random locations, but. That's beside the point. You can also install Nginx. You can also install Lightspeed. Okay. There's a whole heap of different web servers that you can install. Lightspeed is widely deployed because it has really good caching features.
Yep.
Right. It's super, super good. But the problem with this is it's a really big attack surface because of how many users are using it. So the article here is quoted as saying cPanel powers millions of shared hosting servers globally, and the Lightspeed end user plugin has been widely deployed across hosting fleets. The attack is literally sending a single malformed API call with the right parameter values to escalate as root. So if you have a cPanel hosting account on a shared server, you can send this particular API call and get yourself root to that server.
Right.
Yeah, right. So if it's a shared one, you could access to everybody on the box.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And you can delete everything on the box.
That's nasty. Before you take copy of it first.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course. Send it off to an S3 bucket and then rm-rf/.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing to see here.
Literally.
All right, so yeah, be aware with that one. Lightspeed plugin on cPanel. All right, and moving on, we have another lot of industry, like NBN/Telstra kind of story, but this one involves Google. Telstra connectivity surge. Google Telstra deal and SMAP's Tasmanian extension. So Google and Telstra plan to integrate their subsea and terrestrial cable networks in Australia. Meanwhile, Subco is partnering with Firmus to extend SMAP sea cable to Tasmania. So this one just landed just before we went to air. It looks like Google and Telstra are forming a partnership to integrate their subsea cable infrastructure. It enables Google to secure dark fiber capacity for intercity connections on Telstra Aura network, which helps them on the land. And the second part, it gives Telstra access to Google's Pacific Connect and Australia Connect initiatives. So it helps Telstra in the undersea part. Which is nice. It's nice. It means we don't have to double up on this infrastructure. I mean, I guess, look, I have to say, one of the big pain points is getting, and you guys know exactly probably where I'm going to go with this, is getting Telstra to connect to Google, right? This thing called TPN. Right?
Oh my God.
The single worst way of connecting to Google, bar dial-up.
Right. Let's hope there's some improvements on the Telstra private network that gives you edge connection to Google.
The Telstra programmable network.
That's right.
What a dog's breakfast.
Yeah. Programmable network unless you want separate routes over separate legs. And then you don't get that because, we aggregate routes.
That's right. Yeah. Only if it's going through, what was it back? What's it backed onto?
Megaport and...
No, that other Telstra product where all the routes are all...
Oh, what was that?
It's so...
Bollocks, I think it's called.
Bollocks! Anyway, look, this is great. Let's hope there's some improvements to TPN. Anyone from Telstra that's listening, and I did work there for a long time. I could probably still talk to the guys. Just fix TPN, please, so you don't have to delete everything and recreate it all from scratch, and it takes 3 hours to do it. It's very painful.
I'm sure it was cutting edge when it was first brought out in 1982.
When they told us that A, we were the first people to actually use a Google Edge connection, and B, we were had the highest bandwidth of any other user on that environment. That concerned me. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember that call, but oh jeez, that's crazy.
Yeah,
because they were only 1 gig links too from memory. They weren't big links.
5? We ended up with 5, didn't we? 5 gig links. We had to delete and recreate it a few times. To change the bandwidth, you had to delete it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So
and when it's so easy, like when you're in a colo facility, it's so easy to get a Megaport link or anything like that. Like it's
Yeah, and
why do this?
and
100
TPN
gig,
is quite
100
the
gig
opposite.
megaport link and off you go.
Yeah, and TPN is quite the opposite of that.
Yep.
Anyway, let's hope they improve it. Moving on with a little bit more Google news. Google is facing a high triple-digit million euro fine. This is a biggie. As part of an antitrust investigation, the European Union is planning to fine Alphabet's Google a high triple-digit million euro amount as part of an antitrust investigation. This is an article on IT News.
Possibly the worst headline for an article, like the hardest one to read. Google is facing a high triple-digit million euro fine. It just, I had to read it like 4 times this morning.
And I'm like, nearly $1 billion.
Yeah. I'm like, hang on, are we talking like nearly $1 billion or are we talking,
Because you had to think about a triple-digit million.
Yeah.
Okay, what is that exactly?
Yeah, exactly. Look, this is off the back of an investigation which they launched. The EU launched in March 2025, relating to concerns that Google favours its own services in search results and seeks to ensure the world's most popular search engine complies with local regulations, which basically means that they're not allowed to preference themselves at all in any way, shape, or form. Google's bitten back at the EU, saying the changes we've already made to search under the DMA, which is the Digital Markets Act, represents the biggest downgrade in the product's history, creating a second-rate experience for Europeans to the benefit of a few self-interested complainants. Ouch. We'll see what comes of it. It might be that they get a triple-digit million euro fine. They might walk away.
And maybe they'll take some of the funds from that fine and they can direct it towards Euro Office.
Euro.
Which, we don't have it as a specific article this week, but next week, June 9th is launching.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw it's based on Nextcloud, is it? Because I saw
Nextcloud is part of it.
Part of it, right?
There's a consortium of European tech companies. So yeah, it's that's actually going to be an interesting product release.
Office EU, that's it. Office EU.
Office EU, yeah.
And there is a site for it. It's like office.eu.
Well, no, that's a separate company. That's again, they're part of the consortium and they have their own product.
Right.
It's a whole big thing. There's a lot, I think, because they don't want any one tech. They don't want to trade a US tech company like monopoly for a single European one.
Right.
Yep.
And given just the way the EU likes to do things with spreading things around all different member countries anyway. So hey, I'm very interested because a lot of the open source alternatives they're not great, right?
They're
like
crap.
LibreOffice and stuff like it's functional. But
if European companies can have input and spend some development time on it, then it's all ships rise with the tide, right? So it'll improve everyone.
Yeah, completely right. And the fact that they're making it available, it's open source, it's out there. I'm very excited to see more things like this coming out, like at a higher investment in UX. So hey, we'll see how it goes, right? There's a lot of movement to try and decouple from US based.
Reliance. US infrastructure reliance. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
interesting. I've just found a page on Wikipedia about Euro Office, and there's already controversy there around the creators of OnlyOffice announcing that it's suspending its partnership with Nextcloud due to a conflict. With because they own the Open Exchange, I think it is the technology that allows you to convert from Office to OnlyOffice or whatever it is.
Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah. So there's Exchange to OnlyOffice. Yeah.
There's a licensing dispute there or something.
There's going to be all these little noises that happen. They'll iron it all out and land on something. Yeah. Yep. But we might follow that up on next fortnight and see where that lands.
Yeah, maybe we'll install it and give it a go.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Is it as good as Google Docs?
Yeah, exactly. I don't even have an Office suite installed these days. I just use Google Docs.
No, that's right.
All right, well, let's get on with some security news. Chrome. Chrome is a leaky boy. New details. Chrome leaks details for Chromium bug that can turn browsers into bots. This doesn't sound good.
No, it's not. So there was a vulnerability reported over 3 years ago where Chrome has a vulnerability that allows attackers to execute JavaScript code persistently across browser restarts. So the way this works is you go to a malicious website, you realize straight away that the malicious website, you close the tab in the browser. The malicious website has already stood up the service worker and the background fetch API features that Chrome has, or Chromium has. So every browser that uses Chrome or Chromium as a base is susceptible to this.
Mm-hmm. Chrome, Edge, Opera. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, all of those ones. The flaw abuses the service worker feature and the background fetch API, which allows the website to initiate downloads in the background, such as a video or JavaScript code or whatever. And Google said at the time in 2018 that if a user closes pages to your site after step 1, that's okay. The download will continue. Because the fetch is highly visible and easily abortable, there isn't a privacy concern of a way too long background sync task because the service worker isn't constantly running. There isn't the concern that it could abuse the system, such as mining Bitcoin in the background. However, security researcher Lyra Rabane, sorry if I butchered your name, has found that none of this is true. This is all lies. At least not on all platforms and not on all Chromium-based browsers. So generally a service worker has a limited lifespan, but in the proof of concept, bypasses that by creating and aborting a background fetch every 20 seconds once a service worker is active. If the background fetch is created and aborted fast enough, it won't show up in the browser UI at all, but will still keep the service worker active, which means it is executing JavaScript code in the background, and you can have malicious payloads in there.
Good times.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means that Chrome OS, like Chrome OS, like Chromebooks and stuff like that would be vulnerable to it as well in their entirety.
Yeah. Yeah, because they basically just run Chrome.
I did used to have a plugin which was a JavaScript blocker. So, yeah. I mean, if you're going to nefarious websites, you might need something like that.
Some of my best friends are nefarious websites.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not great. So, let's hope that gets fixed. I mean, the AI exploits would be loving this one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we have a good news story. CrowdStrike, our old favourites, CrowdStrike, Google slay unkillable glassworm bot targeting devs. Security vendor CrowdStrike said it has taken down the command and control channels used by the operators of the glassworm botnet that has targeted developers since last year.
Yeah, this one's pretty cool, actually.
It's good because look at that. They found an actual use for blockchain.
Yeah. Dead drops for command and control networks.
It's in fact the least malicious use for blockchain that I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, so this one was a really interesting one to read because it's not just like a single command and control server or a single we've just got to take down this blockchain or whatever. Glassworm actually has like 4 different legs on how it can get messages to its little worker bees. So one of them is BitTorrent peer-to-peer networks using distributed hash tables for configuration data, and that's stored against hard-coded public keys. They also use blockchain. They also use Google Calendar event titles.
Wow.
So base 64 event titles as dead
Actually,
drops.
Didn't we talk about an exploit with Google Calendar recently?
Oh, yeah, it was a little while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the reason why they're doing this is so that like you can take down one, but all the rest survive and it'll reinstate that one.
Yeah.
Right, they can still get access to the bots, change the code on it, off you go. So Google and CrowdStrike worked together and they had to do this coordinated takedown like all at the same time to take down all 4 channels of the command and control network so that it orphaned all of the bots.
And then
they couldn't get into
couldn't
it.
Get back to them, and reprogram them onto a new channel. Yeah.
Yep. The interesting bit that I found in this whole article, like it was really interesting to figure out how they've actually done the command and control. But the most interesting bit is the very last paragraph in this article. As the glassware malware checks devices for locales and languages and X's quietly if the machine is in a post-Soviet Commonwealth of Independent States country, suggesting that the criminals are likely based in our favorite country, Russia.
Yeah, that isn't that. That's very funny.
Yeah.
For me, it was the fact that the Solana blockchain arm of this that had to be taken down meant that CrowdStrike needed to actually take over the wallets that were being used. So that's interesting. Like, how were they able to crack the keys? Were they like, how did they get the private keys for those wallets? Very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of
mythos.
Possibly. This article sort of left me with a lot more questions on how this was actually done. Like the Google taking down the calendar, that's
straightforward.
Yep. You just disable that calendar and off you go. The BitTorrent is a little harder because it's a distributed network. The blockchain again is a bit more difficult again because it's both distributed and encrypted. There's so many legs to that I've sort of got more questions than answers.
But it's an interesting paradigm. Multiple control channels and obfuscated control channels, right?
Yeah.
Let's have 8 control channels. Let's have 256 control channels.
Yeah,
different ways.
A signal and a telegram and a
And if the bot can't get to the first one, it tries the second one, and then tries the third one, and it tries the fourth one. It just keeps going. Yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. They managed to stop it, but we also have Palo Alto. They keep coming up, and I think we talked about this in a previous show, but I went back. I couldn't find it. But Palo Alto Global Protect VPN auth bypass flaw now exploited in attacks.
Yeah, so we did talk about this. We talked about the fact that it was exploit. It was a flaw that had been released. So they've got a vulnerability in their operating system.
But there was no exploits at the time.
But
no
exploits. No one. So there is now, and it is now added as of May 29th, so only a few days ago. This vulnerability has been added to the CISA KEV, so the known exploited vulnerabilities database. The earliest exploitation observed was May 17. So this vulnerability relies on the device, the Palo Alto VPN device, being configured with authentication override cookies enabled and a specific security certificate configuration. Wowzers, that was a mouthful.
Say that 3 times fast. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't even say it once properly. So Palo Alto has updated the advisory to warn that the flaw is now being actively exploited in attacks against unpatched devices, raising the severity rating to high. Super simple, patch your device. And if you are a PA admin in the wild there and you can't patch your device for whatever reason, you can also mitigate it by turning off authentication override feature.
But you won't need AI, apparently. in your
No,
program.
no. You don't need AI. Will never make it into security.
No. Speaking of AI,
Yeah.
let's get on with the AI wars.
AI Wars.
AI wars.
See how I set up that segue there? That was smooth like butter.
It was silky.
And Anthropic prepares Mythos 1 for Claude Code and Claude Security. Here we go. It's coming.
It's on.
We have Anthropic appears to be moving Claude Mythos closest to broader availability than its original guidance suggested. A recent Project Classwing update notes that the model is now helping projects protect a wider range of organizations, as we saw earlier, and includes open source projects. Now, it apparently appeared in the Claude Code model selection window.
Yeah, the desktop app. Yeah.
Right?
There's a screenshot in this article for it.
Yeah, some users were temporarily able to see Mythos 1 model in the UI.
Ooh.
Yep. So is it going to be released?
It could be still like maybe they're wanting to bring it to the environment, but still with like limited access. But like the people who have the limited access still use Claude Code.
Yeah. But it also appeared on GCP in Vertex AI and in whatever AWS's version of Vertex AI is. I don't know. I know it's not called Vertex AI, but I'm not calling it Geep.
Geep.
What, it appeared for like normal muggles? Or
it appeared for muggles for a very short period of time. So it was a preview version, apparently. It appeared for a very short period of time and then was very quickly removed.
Right.
Because by the time I'd read about it, it had already gone.
It had gone, yeah. You gone there and checked and it was gone.
Yep.
But it is interesting seeing that they've got like this enterprise like code scanning feature that's coming up. So I guess if it's your repository and you own the repository, then it can scan it for vulnerabilities, but you can't point it to one that you can't prove ownership of, which I think is a nice way of doing it, right?
Yeah, definitely. Seems like a sane way of doing things.
Yeah.
Did you see lower down in the article, it was talking about the Claude Security side of the rollout that gets upgrades as well. So in the Claude Code UI, so in the desktop app UI, there's now a security product on the left-hand side. And it'll show you a dashboard of discovered vulnerabilities, historical charts, and all that sort of stuff.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
So I don't have it yet. I checked this morning. I don't have it. I'm disappointed by that.
Yeah, checking mine. I had to update.
That's right. All the other code interfaces are going to mimic this. There's no doubt. Yeah, I'll just copy it. All right, so we're going to keep a close eye on that because the world's going to blow up if Mythos lands in everyone's. You think it's crazy? No, I mean the shitfluencers on YouTube are just going to go crazy.
Oh yeah.
It would be nice though. In fact, like this piece here around saying, "Oh, well, you have to prove ownership of it." They could go down a model. Like if you're going to use like let's encrypt certs for your applications, and you say, okay, well, I just need to put at the moment, obviously, like you can prove ownership of a repository, but what if you could do something like, all right, I want you to go and like pen test my website. Here, check the DNS. I'll put a text record that proves that I have ownership and let you go do it. That'd be a nice way of doing it.
That'd be 100%. Cool. Yeah.
I like that idea. Because at the moment you can just point, you can tell, Gemini or DeepSeek or whatever that, hey, I own this website. I want you to pen test it. Give it a skill. You're a professional security pen tester. You need to go and pen test this site.
Yeah.
I've done that with WebMarker.
But is it the agent doing the pen testing or the model? Because the model would have to disallow that unless you've got an appropriate text record there.
Yeah, well, at this point, you can do it just with the agent. You can just tell the agent to go and do it, and it'll run the pen test for you. It just spins up a browser window of its own that it has full control of, and off it goes.
Yeah. MCP window. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we're going to get onto another little topic here, and that is token usage. Now, token usage, it wasn't a thing in the early days of AI, right? We never really talked about it, but we seem to be talking about it a lot now, at least between the three of us. We've got DeepSeek V4 Pro. They've cut their prices and their token made it 75% discount permanent, right? That's the first kind of piece to the puzzle we got there. Then we've got Windsurf IDE, which is now Devon IDE. Devon
Desktop.
Devon Desktop, sorry.
Yep.
Devon is saying it uses 30% less tokens, and it does, right? Yeah. Which, by the way, if you're using that, Kimi 2.5 is free at the moment. You can just go to town on it. And we've got Google. Now, Google's just, what's going on with what Google's doing? They've put their prices up, right? But we've got an article here saying Google Gemini is rising fast and is cheaper than ever.
But it's really not.
It's really not. So, I think, Dave, you made a good point recently saying that up to now we've been the whole thing is riding on VC investment.
Yeah, it's all been subsidized. Everything is
subsidized.
Loss making, right? Like we know, like OpenAI is a money fire.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but are we seeing it? I guess my point is, I'm trying to get to here is, are we seeing a tipping point now? I think in some areas we've still got VC money going in, so we're seeing, cheap or free, and then in other areas it's like they're pulling back and they're saying, oh, no, we actually need to put the prices up now.
I expect it's probably a bit of depending on where on the product maturity and market life cycle the different products are. So like Windsurf is still an up and comer, right? As good as, like, I haven't used it myself, but I know you guys love it.
Yeah.
But I never see it come up in articles anywhere. It's all Anthropic code. Sorry, it's Claude Code, Codex, and Gemini. Well, I don't usually see anti-gravity pop up unless people are slamming it.
Yeah.
But still, I never see Windsurf
It's all Claude Code. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
So with Anthropic about to IPO, right, they're going to want to show some good numbers. I don't know what the go is with OpenAI when they want to actually try and go public. I mean, we probably don't need to go into the whole SpaceX XAI debacle. We'll put that aside.
Let's stay well away from Melon Husk.
Yeah, we might be able to touch that one. I think next fortnight we might actually have a bit more details on that if that happens. But anyway, like we might be at the moment where you're going to see Windsurf. Yes, they've able to give you access to the models at a cheaper rate because they're still trying to get market and mind share. So the VC money's there, whereas Google's side of things, they're wanting to start actually making money off this.
Yeah. But just to go back to that Motley Fool article, I found the quote that I wanted to pull from it. The company said this is Google, said it's cutting the unlimited Ultra AI plan for Gemini by 20%.
Yeah. The cost or the access?
Right. Down to $200 per month.
Yeah, so it did.
And you're saying that they're cutting your token usage as well?
Yeah, so Google have done something really weird. I mean, we had a little bit of a rant about this on the last podcast. The AI Ultra plan was available to people with Workspace accounts. So you had your Google Workspace. Dave, you and I, we both got Workspace. Businesses, we run our business out of Workspace, and you could have an AI Ultra subscription in there. and Google would charge you $300 and something Australian for the privilege of having that AI Ultra subscription. And then they turned around, it was probably 6 months ago, maybe it was 8 months ago, they turned around and said, nah, no more workspace account, you got to use Gemini Enterprise. And all of us in the GDE community that use Workspace kicked up a huge stink about it because, you want us to go and sprout about how great Gemini is, but you're not giving us access to Gemini. So screw you. And then so Google backflipped and they gave it back to us. And then they've come out and they've taken it away again. So you've got to use Enterprise now.
It seems like they could fix this problem just by removing the minimum seat count for Enterprise.
100% they could.
Right? If it's
but
like, okay, I've got, so I have 3 seats at the moment in my workspace environment, right? If I could go where I need the higher tier, and I go, all right, well, I can have 2 of my users can be, business pro. I can't even remember what the tier is, right? But they can be on that plan. And for me, all right, I need to go to the enterprise plan. Just allow me to buy 1 seat.
Yeah.
If it's $300 a month, fine.
That's fine. Yeah, that's
right?
fine.
I don't really care as long as it's not, $3,000 a month, which is what a minimum of 10 seats would cost me.
Well, it's worse than that again because now it's sort of it looks like it's going down this path of you have to buy a minimum of 10 seats, and that's going to cost you however much it's going to cost you. But then you're also going to pay for usage on top of that.
Yeah.
So it's like an open-ended model. There's no limits on it, but you pay for what you consume. And for a lot of small businesses out there that have 2 or 3 or 5 seats in their workspace environment, but they use AI quite heavily, they're not going to. Could you imagine one day you get your bill off Google, and all of a sudden, instead of being $80 or $90 a month plus your $300 for your AI Ultra license, it's now $12,000.
So it doesn't include any usage in that price, which just gives you access to it.
It does, but your overages, instead of being cut off when you hit that
you don't hit a 5-hour window.
You don't hit a 5-hour. You just keep accruing cost.
Ugh.
So it's like Vertex AI.
It probably wouldn't even be that bad if it was like, hey, you need a 10-seat minimum, but it's pooled usage. So you're one super dev. Like, okay, it's going to cost me $3,000 a month, but I've got the access of 10, enterprise devs, and then give me 5-hour windows.
Yeah.
Because if you get you get your AI stuck in a loop, or if you're doing like agentic coding where you might have a team of agents running with a coordinator, and 1 or 2 or 3 of them get stuck in loops, get insanely expensive.
Very expensive, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you can rack up cost at a phenomenal rate.
Yep.
So, yeah, look, I don't know what Google's doing with it. Like, there's lots of companies out there that are cutting their price. There's lots of ones that are more expensive than Gemini too. So, like, one of the ones we've got in here is Minimax's new M3 model. It's about twice as expensive as Gemini is. But again, I think they're on the path of we're funding this ourselves, so we're not making a loss here because that's not the way businesses work.
That doesn't make sense, in the long term. Yeah.
OpenAI, you should take note of this.
Oh, yeah, they're hemorrhaging.
Yeah.
All right, so, I mean, my takeaway from this is really no consistency at the moment, right? Like a lot of this stuff is still sort of falling into place as, all the players jostle for their position.
Yeah.
We just got to try and see who end up being the leader at the end of the day, I guess.
At this point in time, it is literally a battle for first place.
Yeah.
It's who can get there first and get the most number of users. But I think what a lot of companies are missing is that we don't really give a rat's which model we use as long as it's not costing us $1,000 a month.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to come down to price. I mean, they're all sort of landing at about the same point now, right? There's not the difference between them isn't that great.
Yeah.
If, like I said, if you can use Devon Desktop and get a free model, then that's going to be best bet, right?
And I will use Claude, I use Gemini, I use Devon in Cascade mode, like their Cascade agent. I've used a whole heap of different models, and I use different models depending on what I'm doing. So I'm not going to pay Google $300 a month for the privilege of having Gemini. I'm not going to pay Claude $300 a month for having the privilege of using Opus Pro. Right?
When the other ones seem to be doing just as good a job.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I feel differently about the Claude one, only because I was getting some great work out of it with the way a lot of its native connectors work, and it felt to me to be like their model seems a little bit more honest in that I can pay for Max. It's $30 a month, gives me access to everything with a certain limit, and then you can go your Max 5 or Max 20, and you know what you're getting. Like Max 5 times the amount, Max 20 times the amount. You can work out your cost. It's like, all right, I can deal with this. If the limits are a bit too high, I don't want to pay that kind of money, then I can work
roll
around
it back down. Yeah.
But
that's what I mean. Like, I'm not going to go all in and pay Google $1,000 a month for Gemini usage when I pay for Windsurf or Devon Desktop now, and I think it's about $25 a month. I pay for them. I pay for Claude's Pro subscription, which is, I can't even remember how much that cost me now.
It's about 30.
Yeah, give or take. So it's I'm spending a little bit of money, and I'm getting more than what I would out of Gemini alone for 10 times that amount.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
a good point. That's a good point. All right. Well, look, we'll leave that discussion there. I'm sure it's going to be rearing its head over the next fortnight. But just to round the show out, you may not even need to buy a subscription if you get yourself an NVIDIA RTX Spark machine. Are
you talking about the ARM-based super chip?
The ARM-based super chip. Now, I have to fully admit, I didn't read this particular article, but Linus Tech Tips did a thing on it, and I watched his video on it. And so we've got these NVIDIA Spark chips that are coming out, the laptop form factor, and you've got this chip in there, 20 ARM cores, 6,000 CUDA cores, and 128 meg of RAM, all baked into the chip.
Gig of RAM.
Oh, gig of RAM, is it? Sorry, gig of RAM.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, meg of RAM. I'm back to the old Amiga days. 128 gig of RAM baked into a single chip. Insane.
And incidentally, it's Spark spelt with a K, not with a C. If you know, you know.
Yeah. I like the old Spark chips.
Yeah, you and me both. I loved them. Incidentally, so I was doing a bit of research on the Spark platforms themselves. So this one is similar to the DGX Spark, which is the predecessor.
Yep.
So to give you an idea, the DGX Spark in Australia, you can buy one from Umart. It's going to cost you about $8,000.
Okay.
Which, that's not, I mean, for this level of processing, that's probably not too bad.
Yeah, it is very interesting. I see this as it's the Windows, well, not just Windows, it's Windows and Linux alternative to your like Apple Silicon. I think that's really where we're coming at.
That's where we're coming at.
You look at Mac Minis, Mac Studios, with their big unified memory pools, they're so attractive for AI development work and running local models. And this gives you not x86 because it is ARM, but it gives you, another alternative to run it, which is great.
And Qualcomm's got an ARM chip as well that you can use for Windows. They came out with, it was probably 6 months ago. We covered it. It was their new chip. I can't remember what it's called now.
Yep. There is a difference, though. The GGX Spark, which is the previous version, runs a special Ubuntu Linux, whereas the RTX Spark is specifically meant for Windows 11.
Yeah, right.
But it just means that they've put a lot of that co-development in there. And I'm excited to see, proper development going into Windows on ARM. Like, amazing. Right? This is good. I'll be very, very interested to see how it works from a an emulation, like x86 emulation side of things? Like, do I have to only run the ARM versions? Does it run Crysis?
Yeah. Will it use some sort of a Rosetta emulation layer?
Yeah. Gaming is going to be interesting. Now, I know a lot of the big creative suites. So I use Cubase in my studio here for music. There is an ARM version of that available. Yeah, right. And I'm pretty sure Adobe has ARM versions for their products as well. So I think the creators are covered, but gaming is going to be a challenge.
Well, I don't know. So the ARM stuff seems to outperform a lot of the Intel stuff on a pure processing capability. ARM is far more efficient than an Intel, x86
Oh, it is.
64
It is. Yeah,
machine.
there's no doubt. Hands down. And uses less power and all the rest of it, right?
Yeah. Where it'll get let down is the video capability. But this seems not to be, like, this has got, I saw one mention here of an RTX 5070 built into one of the cores.
I don't think video is going to get let down because the encoding's sort of baked into it.
Okay.
Right?
Very interested to see a wait and see, I guess, is the go.
Yeah.
Is you've got all the big laptop and PC manufacturers have all come out and said, yep, we've got new devices which are certain they're thin and light, and they're all going for that MacBook Pro kind of aesthetic. Yeah, so lots of new devices. I know a lot of the manufacturers were burnt by the whole Copilot PCs. Like, no one wanted that. No one wanted a dedicated Copilot button. I know that is going to be on these devices, but they were like, well, it hasn't been a thing.
Yeah.
So we'll see. One thing that I thought was interesting is that Jensen was sort of going into how I guess he's kind of envisioning that he wants individual houses to have their own sort of AI supercomputers in them, which, I mean, I could see that. I could see, a box that's similar to a home battery that sits in your garage, and that happens to be your home, your HAL. I guess everything runs off that. You got a big beefy boy.
Yeah.
And they'd love to sell that to you.
I just rewatched the 80s film Electric Dreams, and this is what he does. He connects his computer into everything in his house, and it doesn't go well.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie Megan?
No.
Megan 2.0? Yeah. So it's all about an AI that goes rogue. And then the AI, Megan 2.0, the AI comes back on the side of the person who created it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, pretty cool.
All right, and just to finish the show out then, we've got the Gemini 3.5 Flash Napkin Challenge. Tell us all about this, Ian.
Look, so big shout out to JK. He's actually tagged me in this, which means now I've got to do something on the Napkin Challenge. But essentially the Napkin Challenge is that you do a napkin drawing of some sort of application that you want, and you give it to your chosen AI, whether that be Gemini or some other AI, and you get it to build that application from that napkin drawing. So what JK's done here is create a colouring book application. Yeah, generator application. He's literally started with a piece of paper, and he's drawn out a rough sketch of what he wanted. Told Gemini 3.5 Flash to off you go and do this. It ended up costing him about $2.29 to do it, and it creates colouring books now for his daughter. And his daughter's loving the unicorns and fairies edition. There
you go. I'll put a link to that in the show notes. Is it like a thing? Like, do we respond on his Substack that we've done this? Oh, we probably can. Yeah.
Well, you've got to get tagged. So you've got to do. So when you're tagged, you've got to do the napkin challenge, and then you've got to tag 3 people to do the napkin challenge.
Okay.
So watch out for tagging, boys.
Oh no. So what? LinkedIn post or something like that?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. All right. Anyway. Okay.
Yep. Anywhere you want.
All right, I'm watching out for tagging. Okay, well, look, guys, it's been a fun show. Go and check out the show notes. It's all in there for everyone to take a look at. Don't forget, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube Music. Go to Apple Podcasts, write a review. That'll really help the show out. And while you're at YouTube, why don't you smash that like button and start the discussion there. Contact the show, contact at gcbbytes.com.au. Find us on the web, www.gcbbytes.com.au. And don't forget, today's sponsors are High-Tech Solutions, Technofish Consulting, and Mantle Group, where you can get along to a GDG event. All right, that's it for another fortnight, and we're pretty much on time, which is always good. And anything else from you guys?
Surely we've got to be late to something.
No, it's nice. We can tick this one off for the day. Little job done.
Job done. Yeah,
very
all
good.
right.
For the record, I prefer nighttime recording.
It was nice recording with a beer. Listening back on the podcast from last fortnight, I was like, oh yeah, that vibe was different.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll catch you next fortnight. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. What's he do? Who's written the intro to the show? Is it Token Honeymoon? Fine Roma boot. What the fuck does that say?
Find Roma boot in the AI Wars. Find. It's a Canadian version. A boot. Find more about the AI Wars. A boot. I've still written a boot. Double O. Okay.